Excitingly, today I'm going to be rating German cities. There are around 30 cities here on this tier rating list, 30 of the biggest. I haven't been to all of them, but as a German, watching German news, knowing perhaps someone from most of these cities, I at least have a feeling towards most of them. A good feeling, a bad feeling, or this Ludwigshafen kind of feeling. I will be using Ludwigshafen as a sort of place to make fun of. I'm sure it also has nice streets. Alright, so the list goes from very good to Ludwigshafen, as it makes sense. Now, Kiel is the first city. Kiel has around 200,000 people. I would say it's rather nice. I have not been there, but I would give it a rather good. I like bigger cities, but it has water. It has a nice size. I guess lots of bricky kind of buildings. I give it a rather good. I think that's fair. Karlsruhe is maybe of a similar size, but it's in the south. No feeling whatsoever other than that there is a technical university. I will give it a neutral. I think that's fair. I have no feeling to Aachen also whatsoever, but compared to Karlsruhe, I would give it a rather bad. I think it is smaller, and the few times I have been there on Google Maps were not promising in any way. Now we have Ludwigshafen. Ludwigshafen is on the level of Ludwigshafen. In the many Reddit forums I've scoured in my free time, it was mentioned as Germany's ugliest city with Germany's ugliest train station. And yeah, it's kind of like built from materials that were left building other nicer cities, I think. Stuttgart is a big place. I heard it is like a big village. It's very incohesive. From all the big cities, I think I have to be rather harsh on Stuttgart, and I give it a rather bad. I have not been there either, which makes me think that I haven't really been to any place here. But Stuttgart, I think, can take a little bit of bashing. I have not been, but I feel that maybe Stuttgart people would think that this is a nice place. And with that comes a tad bit of arrogance. But I really don't see any reason why. I've been told it's very hot in the summer, which is unpleasant if it's that hot. Now Berlin, I give it a good. That's going to surprise some of you. I think it is a splendid place. It only lacks water. I know it has a river or two, but it's small and you don't really notice it, and it's not really a city that feels like it's on a river. But it's Berlin. It has great architecture, great places, also lots of Ludwigshafen kind of stuff. You know, it's the city that feels unlike the rest of Germany, and I think it does an okay job. Hamburg is, and I mean, what are we even rating here? The beauty of it, I guess, right? So Hamburg must be objectively more beautiful than Berlin. It has water, it has very nice architecture. I give it a very good. Always enjoyed being in Hamburg. At day, at night. The train station is complete garbage, but okay, I guess that can be said about most places. But it is very, very beautiful. Osnabrück, no affection whatsoever. I would give it a rather bad because neutral. I just don't think that there would be anything about Osnabrück that would qualify for it to be neutral. Although neutral is neutral, I should probably give it a neutral. I have really no association to it. Dortmund is, yeah, often forgotten, quite a big place. I don't know how many people live there. I'm tempted to say 500,000, but it might as well be more than that. I don't think there's anything particularly beautiful about Dortmund. It's a bit rough around the edges, I'm not too sure. But I think compared to other cities in the same sort of geographical area, that is North Rhine-Westphalia, that is, you know, the very crowded Western Germany industrial part of Germany, I think it does okay. Would I give it a rather good? Probably not. Would I? That would be not fair. I will give it a neutral, but it's a better neutral than Osnabrück. Keep this in mind. Freiburg, I've heard many good things. It is small, but I have to give it a rather good. I've been riding through it twice with the train, beautifully embedded in the valley, close or on the Rhine River, and it has this suburb for many years, or this district that cannot be accessed by cars, so all residents walk or cycle, which is great. Also, I like the Freiburg football club. It seems like a well put together, innovative city, such as what Stuttgart maybe wants to be. Rather good, I think it's fair. I mean, I would also give it a good, but I just don't know it well enough. Now, Braunschweig, ironically, I have been today riding through it. I don't think that counts for most people. What I saw and what I feel like is rather bad. Cologne, I give, rather good. I think it is a nice, big place with a diverse set of people. Beautiful, big, 350 meter wide river. And I think people are very easygoing. They drink these very tiny beers. Wasn't it used to be like the sort of gay capital of Germany? I think many years ago people would call it as such, or maybe still do, I don't know. But, I like the accent as well. But I have not seen Cologne. But I give it a rather good, I think that's fair. Now, Bochum, I'm sorry, I don't know what I can say. I will just put it there. Mainz, neutral, no association whatsoever other than Carnival, and that Jurgen Klopp was playing there and being the coach there. The coach of Liverpool, past coach of Liverpool, not anymore since this season. Now, Bielefeld, there's only one thing I can say, but I will not do it. If you want to know what that is, you have to Google it yourself. It's something all Germans always, not all Germans, some Germans sometimes say it about Bielefeld. I don't know. This has to be neutral. This is, I don't know why it is here. I don't think this is such a big place. Mülheim an der Ruhr. I don't even know where that is other than Western Germany. Probably somewhere south of Cologne, west of Frankfurt, somewhere. I'm not too sure. But let's put it to rather bad. Gelsenkirchen is having a football rivalry with Dortmund. They're in a similar area. I have no feeling whatsoever, but I just don't think that Gelsenkirchen, there's a mentality of people from there, which is kind of pushed by this narrative of there having been this industry where people dig in the ground and make these tunnels. And okay, let's just say rather bad. Now, Munich, yes, okay, well, this is where poshness finds its peak. Probably it's a nice place, well put together. Do I want to be there? No. Is it a nice place? Perhaps. With different people in it. I have to give it a neutral just per se, because I could never bring it over my heart to give it a good, as I will do to Dresden. Beautiful Dresden. Florence on the Elbe River has ugly parts. Big ugly settlements, residential prefab buildings that I kind of like, but I guess from my understanding most people find them ugly. But it has beauty to it. And in summer, I've been there many times when I was younger, when I was older, when I was in my adolescence. And it is a nice place. It has nice nature around. Nuremberg, I think it looks nice. I cannot say much about it. I've seen it a few times from distance, driving through it. But I have nothing against Nuremberg. Let me be a bit experimental here and give it a rather good. I have a good feeling about it. Hagen, now is my chance to put something up there with Ludwigshafen. Hagen, I will just leave it there. Krefeld, same. Now, Münster, when I was younger, has always been presented as a student place, although I don't really know which bigger city isn't also a student city. Because, every city has university, I guess, just in bigger place. Like, I mean, even Berlin would be a student city, but I guess students are just not so noticeable. But Münster, I guess I will give it a rather good. I have a good feeling about it. I don't think I want to go, but I'm happy it exists. Something I wouldn't just say about Krefeld-Hagen or Ludwigshafen, Oberhausen, no feeling whatsoever. If anything, that annoys me. There are all these places that I don't see any reason why they exist. The same, I guess, can be said about Hamm, which I have 0, minus 1 million, nothing association. I think this is really, the more you know a city, the more you can build some sort of relationship to it. If you really don't know it, maybe you're more likely to rate it bad, or maybe it's just me. And on the other side, Ludwigshafen being objectively the kind of Michelin standard for decay and despair. Chemnitz, Eastern German city, often forgotten, has had a bit of a trouble in terms of its development, a lot of older places, decay. I will give it a rather good. It's not Dresden, but it is fine, I think. Something I really wouldn't say about Leverkusen. Built for the workers of the pharmaceutical company Bayer, but I just don't think that there's anything nice in Leverkusen. Yes, you can send me a picture of a nice river. I just don't think that any other city has a nice river. Also, it's small. Like, there's a certain size of cities where it's like so small that it has none of the advantages of a medium-sized or big city, that is possibilities of shops, bars, cafes, theaters, whatever you can think of. But it's also not so small that it has any of the advantages of a village, that is quietness, maybe nice landscape, natural. It's just a sort of blob in the landscape where no one ever felt the need to create anything meaningful. I mean, this is very harsh. Okay, maybe it's super beautiful, sure. Bonn, former capital. I will give it a neutral. I have heard it's not too bad. I've heard it's nice in many parts, also on the river. Shares an airport with Cologne. Small, but since it was the capital, I guess there are some nice buildings, previous governmental buildings. But I have no real association. I will give it a neutral. Mannheim is across the river from Ludwigshafen, and having talked to a friend, the influence of Ludwigshafen is palpable. I would give it a rather bad, but I really also don't have any association. Now, Frankfurt has a certain reputation. Frankfurt's main train station has a certain reputation. I have to say, other than that, Frankfurt is beautiful in many parts, in many ways, very diverse, very big feeling city, world city. I mean, not only because of the skyscrapers, just because so many different streets and styles, and it just feels bigger than it is. I think it has 600, 700, 800,000 people, something like this, or maybe 500,000, I don't know. But I very much like it. And similar things, only missing the rundown aspect, I've heard about Düsseldorf, although I have nothing to say. I will give Düsseldorf in neutral. Kassel, I have been to Kassel. It has 200,000 people living there. I'm just saying this so you have an idea of the size. I think that it is a bit of an odd place. It feels like there should be something culturally going on, and I'm sure there is, but it also doesn't feel like it's quite big enough or quite, I don't know, there's a bit of a schizophrenic vibe. It remains on a neutral. Now it's a neutral, and I have been there, so the meaning of the categories changes. Erfurt, yeah, no, neutral, but rather going up than going down if neutral wouldn't exist. We can do this afterwards. If neutral wouldn't exist, where would I put that? Solingen, no association. I think it can go. Essen, rather bad. Solingen is, by the way, more or less on Ludwigshafen level, because I think it's small. I think it's not nice. and I'm happy to be proven wrong. Halle, yes, rather good. Architecturally interesting for me anyways, because I'm interested in this sort of socialist housing architecture. Halle gets a plus point for having the name of a river that flows through it in the name of the city, Saale. And I think that Eastern German cities that have applied a little bit of Soviet town planning tend to be beautiful because they have long tree-patched roads, kind of smooth and slick architecture, which shows the strongest with, like, for example, Karl Marx Allee in Berlin. But the same vibe can also be found in Halle or Chemnitz. Oldenburg, no association, but I mean, it will never change. I will never have any association about Oldenburg. I think it's just not. Lübeck is rather good. 250,000 people, I would guess, something like this. I've been there many, many times. Beautiful old town, river. I think I've only ever went there when it was cloudy. That hasn't helped, but was still good enough for me. It had a certain atmosphere always. I don't know if it's about the proximity, that the sea is in the vicinity. But Lübeck I have enjoyed rather good. Potsdam, yeah, the home for everyone that didn't find an apartment in Berlin. Or maybe not even anymore, because even Potsdam must be super crowded. I guess it's neutral. I have nothing against it. Actually, the nature surrounding Berlin, where also Potsdam is quite nice. Forest and lake, and I've always liked that. Leipzig, yes, okay, good. Been once or twice, was very nice. It's missing water for me. I know it has water, it has canals, but it has like some little rivers where you can kayak and such things. But yeah, there's just no big river, or I don't know. But Leipzig is cool. It's beautiful. Long it has been forgotten, and then 20 years ago people started move there from Berlin and were not. And yeah, loads of bars, loads of cafes, loads of things going on in Leipzig. Very active youth in many ways. It's good. Magdeburg I will give rather good. Again, Eastern, by the way, I will do the same with Rostock. They are similarly sized, both in Eastern Germany. Only Rostock has the sea, which is a plus point, just not plus enough. They are nice. You see a clear east-west divide here. Now Hanover, I would be damned if I wouldn't put it to neutral, because it is the most neutral place I can think of. It has, it doesn't attract any attention, for good and for bad. It's just existing. I have no idea how it feels like there. I've seen a bit of Hanover. It looked generic, but not bad, but not great either. I have to put it to neutral now. Duisburg, yeah, another contender for Germany's ugliest train stations and most rundown neighborhoods. Just last week there was news about Duisburg that the German parcel shipping company DHL is not delivering to one particular building in Duisburg. I think it was in Duisburg anymore, because it is too dangerous. But Duisburg has a port, a river port, which is a plus, but that plus has only gotten it from Ludwigshafen level to rather bad. Augsburg, I don't know, but when I think about it, I have an old town and churches and a little bit of beauty in my mind. I will give it a rather good. Maybe that's foolish, because I don't really have any association. I've never even been close to Augsburg. But I think it's not too ugly. It's one of these southern German cities, or southern-ish German cities, that I think have maybe a good feel about it. I think also it has a good size. 300,000 people, can that be? Something like this. Saarbrücken, smallest area, smallest, administrative district of Germany, small place. Haven't heard anything good, haven't heard anything bad. If France wanted to have Saarbrücken, because it's at the border, I'd be fine giving it in exchange for Dijon or perhaps Marseille. It's not a good trade for them, is it? Wuppertal. Yeah, what do I know about Wuppertal other than the upside down train that has probably a better name than that? Neutral, just neutral. I have to scroll down a bit. Bremen, yeah. In my understanding, Bremen is the northern German equivalent of Stuttgart. That is a little bit dispersed, but it is in the north. I don't think that Bremen is anywhere near my favorite cities, but I think it is okay. I think it is nice compared to, Essen, Duisburg, Saarbrücken, Aachen or Stuttgart. Do yourself a favor and go to Bremen. Mönchengladbach, yeah. Is there anything to say? Well, just go here. Wiesbaden should go to... Wiesbaden goes to rather good for no reason. Actually, it goes to neutral. No, neutral will be dissolved now anyways. Wiesbaden is Wiesbaden. From what I can tell from GeoGuessr and Google Maps. Okay, let's get rid of the neutral now. Let's imagine the neutral wasn't there and I had to put either all of these cities either to rather good or rather bad. Karlsruhe, rather good. Osnabrück, rather bad. Dortmund, rather good. Mainz, rather bad. Bielefeld, rather bad. Munich, rather good. Bonn, rather good. Düsseldorf, rather good. Kassel, rather good. Erfurt, rather good. Potsdam, rather good. Hanover, rather good. And Wuppertal, yeah, rather bad. Was this fair? I don't think so. But I've really enjoyed that. Let me know what you think. What's your favorite city? For me, it turned out to be Hamburg. I'm not too sure about it. I think the very good and good ones could also be changed depending on new visits, new impressions. So thanks for watching and I see you for the next video. Bye bye.